This is your Singapore Weekend with Susan and Justine.
Hi there. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's 8:12 and thanks for waking up early to join us here on your Singapore Weekend. And it's been such a wonderful start to Saturday. I hope that you guys are going to have a wonderful Saturday as well. Listen, if you're planning a trip and you don't know where to start, well, that's me. So what I do is I let someone else do the planning. And you can do that too. If you don't have someone else like I do, then you can head off into an all-in-one travel portal. It's called Goxperience. And it wants to provide you, the traveler, with anything you might need, from perhaps already curated packages to itineraries that you might want to put together yourself. So this platform wants to help you simplify things like the research. That's a tough one. The planning, for me, even tougher. And the booking processes, okay, I got someone to do that for me. So we want to tell you more about this travel portal. We're going to find out more with Greg Duffell, who is Group CEO of Smoove Xperience. This is a travel tech company, and they operate the all-in-one travel portal, Goxperience.it. Greg, thank you for waking up early to talk to us today.
Good morning, Susan, and all the early listeners at CNA.
Oh, so wonderful to have your company, Greg. Listen, Greg, you've been in the travel industry for quite a time now. How did this all begin for you?
I hate to say that I'm a veteran of the industry. It sounds awful, but I have been in travel tourism for about 40 years. My first travel trip was when I was a kid at school to a French trip to New Caledonia in the Pacific Islands. But the most influential travel I think I ever did was as a young kid. I was on a student exchange program from New Zealand, and I actually came to Malaysia and spent a year in Malacca, Malaysia. So Salat Hari Raya Hajj to all the Muslim listeners out there. But that really taught me that travel was just not about being in a place, but it was really about people and experiences. And from then onwards, I got the travel bug, visited Singapore, got the shopping bug, of course. and I've been able to, through my experiences in travel and tourism, I've lived in London, I've lived in Asia for 30 years, I've been in the US for a couple of years, I've been in Dubai, so working for companies like Thomas Cook. I was very fortunate being elected to be the CEO of the Pacific Asia Travel Association, which is the largest travel association in the Asia Pacific region. So I headed up the industry for a couple of years there, and that got me an insight from a very different angle of travel tourism. And then, of course, right in the middle of the pandemic, a year and a half ago, we decided, why don't we start a travel company when you can't travel? So, can you be, right? And we have a group here in Singapore with a mixture of both travel people and non-travel people that are put together, as you sort of were explaining a few minutes ago, an all-in-one travel app that tries to help people like you, Susan, make travel easy.
Travel is fun, Greg, you know that. But sometimes the planning is very stressful, right? And then you get to the airport and boy, that's a different stress altogether. Having been in the business for over 40 years, how have you seen travel and tourism evolve?
A good question. In the old days, if you wanted to go somewhere, you just call up a travel agent. They were the experts. They knew everything, and you don't have to know very much at all. But they just sort everything out for you. But then along came three important factors. One, of course, was the internet. And everything's on the internet, which is fantastic. And so you start looking at the internet, and you realize there's so much information there. What on earth am I meant to be looking at? And the second major influence, I think, Susan, is you, the media. The media suddenly became global, and all the news comes directly into our homes, directly into our desktops and TVs these days. And even like this morning's news, Japan, the sad news in Japan. Suddenly we'll see a spike in people wanting to go to Japan because you brought these countries and destinations into our homes, and we want to go and visit them and find out about this. So internet media, and the last thing, I think, the third aspect is being mass travel. These low-cost carriers, and it's very cheap to jump on an airplane before COVID and fly anywhere we want. We could actually just not even plan that, just go to the airport, book a ticket, and go somewhere. And so those have really influenced the way travel has been used now since the old days and the new days. And of course, COVID came along, and now post-COVID, we've really got to think about, oh dear, if I go to this place, do I have to have any jabs? Do I have to go into quarantine? Oh my goodness, should I take the kids or not? So it really is a little bit more of a planning and a research stage right now to figure out where you want to go for travel. And so that's why we put together Smoove Xperience to try and bring all these factors together and make it a little bit easier for you, the intended traveler, to get to your destination and, more importantly, to experience things in that destination.
And, you know, I read an article that said you wanted to disrupt old school tourism. And trust me, I know old school. Right? Okay. So, so it's important, I guess, because you talked about technology bringing things together. You started a new travel portal over the last 2 years. How important is it to want to disrupt the old school way of doing things? And how important is it in today's new world of not just tech, but from the work and live anywhere? I mean, you're a prime example of this.
Yes, exactly, Susan. And sort of, and I'm guilty of the old side as well. We used to be, we'd love to sell you a ticket, sell you a hotel, and that's it. When you go, just, you're going to enjoy your holiday. But really, to enjoy your holiday, when you get to the destination, there's a lot of things you still don't know. And so really, the guts of what Smoove Xperience and Goxperience it is all about is actually in-destination experiences. Okay, sure, we'll still sell you a flight and a hotel, but when you look at the Goxperience.it website, the first thing you see is, packages and create your own trip. So we want you to actually really focus about what you're going to do when you get to your destination. And the old style of that, well, just go visit a temple or, go do a little bit of sightseeing, you'll be okay. But actually, there's so much more to do in a destination. And being Singaporeans, we're interested in food, shopping, culture, languages. And if you're traveling as a family, what can you do as a family to experience something in that destination? So really, we want you to make that in-destination experience your own and really come away with a true cultural experience to do it. So we have curated itineraries in there. We have experts talking about what recommendations. We have bloggers telling us what they should do. If you look at our website today, you'll see there's a must-try authentic Vietnamese food. So when you get to Vietnam, what can you do there? So we really want to give you some hints and help as to what you can do and experience that destination, more than just getting on the plane and being in a hotel.
Yeah, absolutely. People just want experiences, even for short staycations. It's not about the hotel anymore. It used to be. So your portal, a snapshot of what it is and how we can actually use it.
Sure. So we actually have thousands of destinations on the portal, of course, everywhere in the world, but we really want you to start looking at what you want to do within that destination. So we have some pre-prepared itineraries in the destinations you choose. We have the ability to create your own destination itineraries from transport from the airport all the way to the around the hotel experience, all the things we talked about, cultural, food, adventure, education, all those things are there on the portal that you can pick and choose your own when you get to the destination. So really make it a personal holiday for yourself. And we also have Telegram 24-hour support. So actually, when you get there and you're still not decided, you can actually reach out to us, or we can go on to the portal and have a look and say, what am I going to do tomorrow? I've relaxed enough the last 2 days. I better get out and do something, right, and get something done before I get home. Go shopping as well. So we have all those. We try and curate all those bits of information for you in one place.
Wonderful. It sounds like it's a good experience already just to get in there and see what it is that you can recommend us. Before I let you go, though, you mentioned food so many times. I must ask you, I mean, you're in Malaysia now, aren't you, Greg?
Yes.
What's your favorite food up there?
Oh, it's easy. People love it, people hate it, but I love durian. And it's durian season. And the good news is there's so much that the prices have gone down. So I'm a month early when I go try and buy it. It always jumps up in price, right? I always get my Indian friends to buy it for me, but cheap durian.
Okay, I did not expect durian. So I hope you have a wonderful season because it is in abundance. And I do want to thank you, Greg, so much for waking up early to speak with us today. Such a lovely experience talking with you. Thank you, Greg.
My pleasure, Susan. And again, to all the listeners out there, don't just visit a place. Please go and experience it. Go Xperience.it is where you're going to find all this in your destination.
That's it. That's right. www.goexperience.it for tips, tricks, travel guides. Greg Duffell was speaking with me, Group CEO of Smoove Xperience, and this is the team behind Goxperience.it.